top institutions, public, private, and development sectors.
Whether you're a learning professional, HR leader, educator, or business owner, this is your tribe, your turning point, your transformation. Secure your seat now and enjoy exclusive early bird discounts.
So, we invite you to be part of us. Look for our links, look for our social network handles, fill in the forms, and join us.
Welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of you in the talent development industry like us, right? Members of LDNI and our guests. And thank you so much for joining us today for this panel discussion on developing future fit talent, learning, leading, and thriving. So as usual, we'll just kick off right away. For those of you who are guests here, we'll tell you just a little bit about LDNI, Learning and Development Network International. We're all about empowering leaders through learning. That's what we are about. Our vision is to be the platform for the advancement of learning and development solutions and business practices in Africa. Very much about that, and it encompasses so many different things. That's who we are and what we're aiming for. We have a partnership with ATD, and I'll be talking to you a little bit more about that later on as I talk about the conference. But ATD, for those of you who are not aware of what that organization is the Association for Talent Development. It's the largest global association for talent development practitioners in the world. So it's huge. So what we do at LDNI, we do member development. When you join us, you're on a journey of continuous learning and development and improvement, certification as well. We do global advocacy for the learning and development profession, and we also do research and development. We have so many benefits for our members. You have access to a large number of L&D professionals. So we have many members who, anytime they need a specialist in one area or the other, they just post in our group chats and they have so many available to them. We do a lot of networking and developing professional relationships that result in business or in professional growth and opportunities. Professional development for you as a learning and development practitioner, and exposure to international best practice and discounts for conferences, most notably the ATD conference, and of course our own, the Champions of Talent Development Conference, which is coming up this September from the 16th to 18th of September. Can't wait to see all of you there. There are also continuing education unit credits for certifications that you might require. So we have 5 certification levels. You can come in as a graduate, and then move in, become an associate, learning and development associate. When you've gained some experience, you become a learning and development professional. When you have gained your expertise in a particular area or across a broad range of areas, you become a learning and development specialist. And the Zenith, learning and development master. And those are people that you can call, and at the top of the hat, they can deliver results for you. You can also earn capability badges from these weekly learning circles. This is our own way of giving back to the community. We have these free weekly learning circles, and you can earn a capability badge based on the ATD capability model, which you'll be finding out a lot more about today. So I think that's it. Let me mention the 3 capability areas, the domains. We're talking about building personal capability, developing professional capability, and then impacting organizational capability. So when you join LDNI, you participate in our programs, this is the impact it will have on you and your growth as a professional. My name is Habiba Balogun, LDS, Learning and Development Specialist. I'm an organization effectiveness consultant. I have my own firm, and I'm also the chair of this year's Champions of Talent Development Conference, CTD 2025. And I'm delighted to be moderating today's session with you. And we have 5 panelists, very distinguished panelists who will be joining us today for this discussion. Of course, the first one is our own president, Olumide Ajomale, LDM, our Lagos Region Chair, Dr. Tayo Oluwole, LDS, our Regional Chair for Port Harcourt Region, Kennedy Dike. Hi, Kennedy. Region Chair for the Abuja region, the Northern region, Bayami Oyelola, who we like to fondly call MNI. Hi, MNI. And our chair for something really exciting that we're pioneering this year. It's called the CASE competition, and it's all about the ATD capabilities and building your capabilities as a learning and development professional. And we're having a CASE competition that will we'll have what's the word now? That's going to the final. Let's just say we're going to announce the winners at this year's conference, and the chair of that CASE competition is our very own Dr. Fumi Akinyele. So these are the panelists that we have before us today, and we'll be discussing the theme, future fit talent. That's what we're going to be discussing, future fit talent, learning, leading, and thriving. So today we don't want today to just be just another learning circle. It's designed to be a very powerful conversation to spark insights, share practical strategies, and build momentum towards CTD 2025, which is going to be the largest gathering of talent development professionals in Africa this year. So I've introduced our panelists in terms of their relationship to LDNI. They are professionals in their own right. Our president is the CEO of Facilitation and Training Skills Limited, that's FTSL. That's Mr. Olumide Ajomale. Tayo, of course, our Lagos Region Chair, he's the CEO of McTimothy Associates. He's an experienced management consultant. Abayami Oyolala is the CEO of Daedalus Consulting. He's a respected voice on governance and business strategy. Kennedy Dike is a GM of Global Business Services and HR and OD professional, very, very passionate about people-driven growth. And Dr. Akinyele is the ED, Executive Director of Food Basket Foundation International. So we don't have a lot of time together, so I'm going to jump straight into today's conversations. As our panelists share, please use the chat to post your thoughts and questions. We'll pick up some of them towards the end. If you would like to say anything, just raise your virtual hand if you'd like to make a short verbal contribution. So I'm going to jump straight into future fit talent. We're talking about the future of learning. So they say that we must be future ready. But what does that really mean for how we learn as individuals, okay, and organizations today? So I'm going to direct that question to our president. Olumide, over to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm muted. Right. Yes, Habiba, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think you can increase your volume if you can. That'd be great.
Okay. Does it sound better now?
Oh, perfect.
All right. So thank you, Habiba. And good people of the globe, because I know that many people are calling in from across the globe. You talked about us being Africa-centered, but every time we have presentations like this, we get people from all over the world. So good morning, good afternoon, or maybe good early morning, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. And I'm excited as president of LDNI to share my thoughts and insights around essential skills and mindsets that will propel us in a rapidly changing world. It's very critical that we focus on developing this unique blend of skills and mindsets and how we can thrive in our environment today. So, Abiba, do you want me to continue or just use that as a tease?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what does it really mean, for us as individuals and as organizations, if we're talking about being future ready, what does that really mean?
Well, being future ready really is focused in two areas. What skills and competencies do you have or should you have for the future? Again, take note that whatever skills and competencies put you in good stead 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they're not going to make things happen for you either as individuals, teams, or organizations. And very quickly, I've identified a few: critical thinking and problem solving, and this ability to solve complex problems. The world gets completely difficult. Things are changing by the moment, so we've got to be adapt with our critical thinking and problem solving skills. Again, adaptability and creativity. With technology, there's a lot that is happening. And so we've got to be able to adapt and think creatively so that we can always be ahead of the curve. Again, what about effective communication skills? Today and tomorrow, we will be talking about how to build relationships, how to collaborate, and how to convey our ideas. Now, effective communication skills obviously become very, very critical. Two more things that I think around key skills: data analysis and interpretation. This is a period when data has been thrown at us like, like we say, like no man's business. But then what do you do to make the most out of data? And of course, how you can solve complex ideas and also convey vision out of data. And of course, being tech savvy. That's all. Digital literacy. So with increasing AI tools and you've just got to stay up and stay ahead of the curve. And I think these are skills and competencies that will put anyone being ready to face the future. What about the mindset? A growth mindset is critical. We've got to be open to learning. All the things that we thought were no longer possible have become possible. And one way to do that is just, in fact, your mindset now should literally be, what can't be done? And finally, for me, it's also about resilience and agility. You've got to be able to stand and survive this time. Right. So my opening shots.
Wow.
Be ready for the future. You've got to be. Thank you, Abiba.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can see that Dr. Fumi Akinyele is here, so if you can spotlight her, that'd be great. So let me move on to Tayo, our Lagos Region Chair. Tayo, Lagos is hosting the conference this year, right? So leadership is under more pressure than ever before. So what qualities define a future fit leader in today's changing world, and how can organizations cultivate them? Tayo, that question is for you.
Oh, sorry, Abiba, I lost you for.
Yeah, I was saying that Lagos is
audio.
hosting. Yeah, I was saying that Lagos is hosting the conference this year. And you are our Lagos region chair, and you've seen it in your consultancy that leadership is under more pressure than ever before. What qualities define a future fit leader in today's changing world, and how can organizations cultivate them?
All right. Thank you, Abiba. Indeed, to put it in context, leadership is under pressure today more than ever before, because we live in a world where disruption is constant. Technology are evolving faster than policies. Workforce is multi-generational and global. Some people call it mobile. And also, we live in a world of crisis, whether economic, political, or environmental. Okay, so these themselves are enough for us to admit that leadership today at any sector, any level, is often under pressure because all of these comes unannounced. But the big question we must therefore ask is, with all of this reality, what makes a leader to be truly future fit? I will give this answer in three perspectives, and I call them core qualities that leaders must possess to make them future fit, really. Three. One is adaptability. The president briefly mentioned that. Two is empathy. And three, or the third one, is digital fluency. Okay. And I use that word deliberately, digital fluency as opposed to literacy. But let me take them one after the other. You see, adaptability. First, adaptability in this day, especially post 2025. Leaders can no longer rely on fixed playbook that they have often used or that is handed to them. They must pivot quickly, whether to embrace AI, respond to market shock, or to adjust to shifting employee expectations. You and I will agree today that the employees of today are different from what we used to have or what you and I used to be. Expectations of employees are shifting radically in response to the global dimensions and changing and the complexities that is happening in our world. So therefore, the ability of leaders to learn, unlearn, and relearn is now a superpower for us as leaders. This is because the future fit leader is not the one who knows it all, but the one who can learn it all as quickly as possible. That is the one who can keep learning as new things evolve so that they can be able to pilot their organization into the future that is ahead of us. Number two is empathy. You see, in an age where well-being, inclusion, and trust are at the front burner almost every day, leaders need to go beyond managing processes into connecting with people. Employees want leaders who listen to them, who create a psychological safety around them or in their work environment, and who need to see them not just as a resources or economic resources, but as human beings with aspirations. So for that, today's leader needs empathy, and empathy is no longer a soft skill. It has become a strategic skill because without it, leaders will lead compliance and not commitment. Then the third one, I would say, which is the third critical or core skill, is the digital fluency. Digital fluency is to say that not just literacy are needed or digital literacy are needed by today's leader. Leaders must move fast. They need to know more about technology to be able to leverage it strategically. So if anyone is going to be a future fit leader, you cannot afford to be left behind. Why the younger generation of today are, already getting ahead. This means that harnessing data for decision making, integrating AI responsibly, and leading a hybrid or remote team effectively are all essential for leaders to be able to know and adjust accordingly. So therefore, future fit leaders must be comfortable with the dashboards, collaboration tools, and as they do same with strategy, because digital fluency is the new literacy for today's leader. Because if you cannot leverage technology, you cannot effectively manage, people who are digital first employees. I ran this up by saying,
thank you so much, Tayo.
Leaders need to embrace continuous learning, model reward and empathy, and also invest in digital leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. I'm feeling intimidated. I'm a learning and development practitioner, but I'm also a leader in my own right. And when I'm seeing all this list, Kennedy, I'm seeing you two, you're like this, that this is a lot of stuff that leaders have to adopt, ways leaders have to change, things leaders have to unlearn, things leaders need to become fluent in. It's a lot, it's a lot. And in fact, Victor Diali in the chat, he said, in fact, soft skills are the harder skills. Thank you, Victor, for that. Thank you for Tayo for that. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit intimidated. Oh dear. Okay, so change is constant. And Tayo has mentioned some of those: remote work, hybrid work, AI, digital fluency, demographic shifts. So I'm going to direct this question to Abuja Region Chair, Abayomi Oyolola, MNI. So how do individuals and organizations not just survive, but actually thrive in this environment of constant change that we're in right now?
Thank you very much, Habiba. It's been an exciting few minutes, and well done for the superlative preparation for the conference. And thank you for the question. And I think the president and the Lagos chair has integrated what it takes. And the way to summarize it is that the way forward is for businesses and leaders to engender resilience, agility, and opportunity spotting. And we all know that resilience lies in the adage of the sage that says life is not in never falling, but getting up each time you fall. And therefore, it postulates that resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, as well as sustaining performance under pressure, and then going through adversity. And the strategy in my own mind is for one to continuously cultivating growth and seeing failure as a learning process and an opportunity, and as well as reframing challenges as a normal part of everyday life. When we look at it from that perspective, when you build some resilience, and then you have strength in adversity. And of course, the leader must be psychologically prepared, by ensuring that safety valve that I cannot be downed, I cannot fall, I cannot feel down. So I need to get up and do the necessary things. And of course, the ability to diversify risks. You don't just stop at one line item and then continue to say that, oh, I'm not successful in this line, therefore I have to close shop. And of course, it entails scenario planning. When you plan your scenarios, you go from worst, middle, best, worst case scenario, best case scenario, and of course, there's also the possibility of likely scenarios to reduce the uncertainty shocks that may come along the way. And of course, talking about the agility, there is capacity to move quickly and easily. You don't just sit down in one place and say, that's the end of the story. And these pivots one's response to change without losing momentum, or focus. Responding to stimulus, I would say, you respond to stimulus, the shock, and the strategies is decentralizing, decision making, and that's why making use of a good teamwork, delegating, as well as able to listen and learn from those who are around you that you work with. And then, of course, cross-functional teams, as well as, flexibility planning. All these, I think, make up the
Is it my network? Can you hear me? Tayo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think
Okay, all right. So
his
it's
network really.
Rami who has frozen a little bit. But yes, I got his point. So talking about
Yes.
resilience, having that mindset that challenges and difficulties are just part of life, and being able to respond to stimulus and shocks with agility, doing scenario planning so that you are prepared from the worst case scenario, having cross-functional teams so that you have, quality minds with different perspectives, decentralizing decision-making. I like that. I've never thought of teamwork as decentralizing decision-making. So that's something I've learned today. Teamwork is decentralizing decision-making. I really like that, as these are the ways that you can, as a leader, become resilient, agile, spot opportunities, learn from shocks and failures, right? To move forward. Wow. So this is a lot. So if we start from the beginning, we talked about, so welcome back. I summarized everything you said. You're still muted though.
NEPA power failure in my
Okay.
side, so I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so I'm talking of the strategies to adopt when you are talking of opportunity spotting.
Yes.
You do a lot of environmental scanning so that you know what is happening around you, and then a lot of design thinking when you are producing a product that you think is not moving in the market and is affecting your business, or you are doing things or facilitating in a way that the reception of your facilitation is becoming monotonous, then you do a rethinking of design. And of course, Dr. Tayo talked about empathy. That's very key. Like he said, is no longer becoming is no longer a soft skill, but a strategic skill. Being empathetic, creating the enabling environment for your staff to germinate and to produce well, and then encourage experimentation. Innovation, is the key to performing greater for the future. And when you do this, you find out that the business outlook for you, does not become bleak. And then, of course, leverage your networks. The era of staying in a cocoon. Just cubicalizing yourself and locking up yourself. So you need to interact more with people in the same business, and so that you can, gain ideas. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, resilience ensures survival, and agility enables adaptation, which my president talked about. And of course, opportunity spotting drives growth. I thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for that. Very exciting, very insightful. And I like what you said about don't stay in a cocoon. Many of us post-COVID, I know COVID happened in 2020. We're now in 2025. Many of us have still not gotten back out there the way we were pre-COVID. Many people have gotten used to being in their homes, in their offices. Tayo is nodding his head, right?
Yeah.
We need to get out there. And that's why you need to be part of an association like LDNI, with your fellows, your learning and development practitioners, your fellow talent developers, people who have the same concerns as you, people who are also looking forward about, okay, how can we prepare ourselves? And in preparing ourselves, prepare our organizations, prepare our societies to thrive in the future, because the future is so different from the past. And it's a huge challenge. And I'm going to direct this question to Kennedy now. Kennedy, our Port Harcourt Region Chair, how can leaders balance all these things, technology, people, and purpose? And, all these other things that we've been talking about. How do you, so we know we need to do it. Now practicalizing it. How can leaders do all of that?
All right. Thank you, Habiba. And my greetings to our highly distinguished Oga Olumide. Your boys are lawyers, sir. Just want to. we're very loyal, sir. And as a leader, you are doing very well, balancing technology, people, and purpose. So maybe you are the best person to have answered this question. Tell us how you are able to do this and do it very effectively. Calling by 10 p.m. most times and insisting that we have to close out some certain deals. Such a wonderful guy. My pleasure, sir. Again, so let's be very practical. When we come and we speak, and if all the leaders are in this room, we would have closed this session a long time ago, because uh, all the previous speakers have spoken, and if all the leaders could just speak from all they have said, it's going to be very easy for us to balance people, technology, and purpose. For me, why do you want technology? Why are you deploying a particular technology? You need to be able to define the reason why. When you're able to come up with your why this particular technology, it is going to be easy for you to sell that product. And once people buy into it, because they see a connection between what you want to introduce and business sustainability and the sustainability of their pockets, you'll be very, very sure that people are going to buy into that particular technology. So again, for me, it's communication of the purpose, communication of the why. You need to carry everybody along. I think, again, it's just one of these things that leaders sit in our very, very high offices, and you want to run through a particular process and technology to the workforce, and you think it will fly, it will not fly. You're going to face resistance, and you're going to face frustration, and you begin to ask yourself, why are things not moving well? It's because you didn't carry people along. You don't apply empathy. You don't put the people first. Again, there is this insecurity that comes when a new technology is coming. People are insecure, and the question is, how is this connected with my future in the company? People are scared, and they want to first and foremost resist it because they don't know whether the technology is going to take them out of their work. And if they notice that technology is going to take them out of their work, they're very certain they are going to resist it. So you need to connect with people. You need to talk to people. You need to let them know why. Apply some change management skills, right? Where you bring everybody up to speed on the purpose. So communication for me is key. And I will give you an instance. And some few years ago, I used to work in a factory. And we needed to do some very drastic and very, very, well, let's say very drastic, take some very drastic action against in view of our dwindling workforce, aging workforce, if you like. So we just invested in some form of dashboards, right? We didn't go into long grammar. All we did is invest in form of technology that was able to pick out some information that by the time we went to the board meeting, all we did was to just show the reports and, of course, some tech-enabled reports. And we were able to speak to the board about the challenges that we are going to have in 10 years' time if certain decisions were not made. Approval was given for that. But again, we did not just come as HR and ram it through the workforce. We had to now begin to segment the people in terms of stakeholders management. And by the time we're done with segmenting people, we're able to now let them realize why we had to do what we had to do and the purpose for it and the connection between that thing we want to do and the sustainability of the business. By the time we are done with creating a linkage between that technology and the sustainability of the business, everybody just align. So it's important you take people into consideration. You take people how that change is going to affect their work, how it's going to affect their pockets. If possible, please let them know it is not going to affect their pocket, that their pay is still guaranteed and their job is
Yeah.
guaranteed. There's also something about some leaders. This ego we have as leaders most times, and if you like, we know it all kind of mentality.
Yes.
I've heard somebody talk about, I think it's decentralizing decision making. You can decentralize decision making, but again, if the leaders in that team, those teams, do not give the team members, I mean, that benefit of the doubt, they even know what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
it's just going to destroy everything. The decision will not even come to the table. So I just want to say that balancing all of this requires tact. The leader must know. These days we say follow who know road. But I say don't follow who know road, follow who has empathy because who knows road may not have empathy. It's just important to, you know, follow who
Wow.
has empathy, who
Yeah.
has, who, you know, who has your, who has you in mind, so to say, and who is able to communicate, who is a vision, who knows where he's going, and then can let you walk you through that process. So it's all what has been said by Olumide Tayo and Abayomi. If we can internalize all of these things, building a communication model into all of these things, every matter scanning. You see, there's this thing. Sorry, I take your time, Abiba. There's this. I don't know where it's coming from, right? So because you see company A has adopted the technology, you want to adapt that technology. Are you in the same business with company B? You know, you need to adapt technology that works for your organization.
That works
So
for
it's
you.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Yeah.
because everybody is doing it, you now want to do it.
Yeah.
All of us must not use Keke as company boss. But if some people are using Keke as company boss, it therefore means that Keke is working for them. You can use motorcycle or you use coaster bus. Look for what works for you and
Works for
apply
you.
what works for you. Don't just copy because people are doing it. Because at the end of the day, you will spend money, you will spend time, and at the end of the day, nothing will be achieved. Thank you very much.
Kenneth, you. Now I know that you're truly my brother from River State. Eh? That they shouldn't use Keke as a company boss. I love it. I love it. And then don't follow who knows road, follow who knows empathy. I
In
don't
fact,
want us
Abiba,
to.
I was just
Yes,
going
go
to say
ahead.
that this must be some South-South analogy that has been brought into the leadership terrain. My brother, I'm going to steal this quote from you. Follow person we get empathy. No be the one we know road only.
Yeah, because
Well
I
done.
have some. Thanks, Eddie. I have some clients. I mean, obviously, organizations call me in when they have issues, and very often the issues are leadership. We all know that the issues 85% of the time, the issue is the leadership. If any organization has it, and there's one particular client where the leader knows rules. I don't know which language to use to emphasize the level to which the leader knows road. You know, our languages are very sweet in Nigeria. There are some words that will just empathy. And everybody is following the leader and has confidence in the leader because they know the leader knows road. But the lack of empathy has just eroded and destroyed everything. Even the people who want to follow the leader find themselves unable to because of that lack of empathy. It is so critical. Thank you so much for bringing that forward. So I know Fumi Akinyele, she's on the, I think she's in transit, but Fumi, I hope you'll be able to unmute and join us because you are the chair of the ATD Capability Model Case Competition. Fabulous. I can see you here. This is something we're pioneering at CTD 2025. It's the first time and you've been deeply involved in connecting global talent development standards with our own local context. So could you share how the model helps professionals and organizations become future fit and what participants can look forward to in this year's case competition?
All right, thank you, Habiba. Can I confirm that you can hear me?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Good morning to all our esteemed colleagues, our president and our chairs of the different regions. I have enjoyed the conversation so far, and I think it's a good lead-in to the case competition because all of those things are part of the ATD model in one way or the other. And there's a famous saying that knowledge is not power, it's applied knowledge that is power. And how do we know what we know if we don't apply it, right? And Dr. Taya also talked about the need to learn and unlearn and relearn. All of us have some of these capabilities to a certain extent, right? But how do we improve them? How do we increase them? How do we get all those, how do we expand them, so to speak? How do we become more innovative, empathetic? How do we actually prove to ourselves and to other people that we are growing? President talked about a growth mindset. So many times, learning and development professionals can get hubris because you think you know, right? But do you? Yes, you know, but do you? There's no, there's no one that has absolute uh, command of all knowledge. So there's always something new to learn. And so this case competition is an opportunity to showcase what we know and apply what we know and learn new things as part of a team because, you know, how many of us work independently and we don't have as many opportunities to work together in a team. And this is one opportunity to do so. So, what is the case competition? The case competition is applying parts of the ATD model to real life case situations. For instance, how do you apply empathy in the real world? It's nice to say, it's nice to do, but how do you actually apply it given certain real life context? So this case competition has cases for all the four tracks of the conference, and we're inviting team members, we're inviting people to team up in two, three, or four, and it can be across regions, it can be across countries, and we will assign a case to you based on the track that you choose, and then you have time to decide how to solve that problem. The competition is in three phases. First phase is you get the case, you develop an executive summary and a presentation, maybe like a 10-slide presentation on how you're going to solve the problem using the ATD model. And then the semi-finalists will then present a virtual poster and respond to questions. And then the finalists will then have like a Shark Tank-like pitch where you have the opportunity to present to a wider audience, respond to questions, and then the judges will select the finalists. That's essentially an overview of the conference. And guess what? There is a prize. There's the potential to get a one-year membership to ATD. And that's about, I think, a $500 value. And if nothing else, that's worth aiming for. But I think more than anything is what you become by participating in the case competition, right? You learn you learn where you need to improve your knowledge. You are confident in where you know you are excelling, and you get bragging rights. You're able to solve a real world problem that you can then leverage on to do other things. So essentially that's over.
Okay, thank you so much. So do any of our panelists have any questions for Dr. Akinyele about the case competition? It's really exciting. It's something brand new that LDNI is introducing into the talent development space. Anyone have any questions for her?
Abiba, am I excluded from this competition?
Yes, sir, you are. Yes, sir, you are excluded.
Not fair, not fair.
I know. I can imagine there are a lot of LD, learning and development masters, who would, you are a master because you are interested in stuff like this, who would want to compete. But I'm afraid, sorry. I'm
Sorry, yes.
sorry.
I forgot to say, the competition is only open to LDAs, LDGs, LDPs, and LDSs. No LDMs allowed. Sorry.
So
Thank you so much,
what
Fumi.
happened to LDNI's policy around inclusivity?
Yes, LDMs will be included because you would need the judges.
Okay, so let's talk now.
I'll get back at you. I'll get back at you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much for me. Okay, so moving on to building the future together. You know, this session we just had is just a taste of what is to come at CTD 2025. I've already learned so much. I hope you have learned a lot as well. And what I'd like our panelists to do before we open the floor to the people who have so kindly logged in today is for each of you in one line, share why should professionals and organizations make sure that they attend, sponsor, exhibit, and advertise at this year's conference. So let me start with Fumi. Fumi, I'll start with you. I'll go backwards. Fumi, then Kennedy, then Abayomi, then Tayo, and then Olumide. Okay? One word or one line, why you think people should attend this year's conference, either as a delegate, as a sponsor, to exhibit, or to advertise.
One word is tough, but one line. If you're not there, you will not be able to identify the value of what you have lost.
Wow, that is powerful. All right, Kennedy.
Yeah, I think that's just one place. Anybody who is a professional in talent management, learning needs to be in. And if you're not there, then we need to just review and be sure that you're not a quack in this business. We just have to find out, because it's only quacks that would not be able to attend this conference. Thank you. Mr. President, I hope I'm on the same page with you, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
M&I, over to you.
Thank you very much, Abiba. I think it's a place where you see innovation, and you realize that innovation is about teamwork. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Tayo.
All right. Thank you, Abiba. I think whether you are a leader in any capacity or a professional, if you are not at this CTD 2025, you have started to simply cut yourself away from being a future fit leader or person, as the case may be. Because all that you need to learn and get ready to be future fit are all packaged in this program. You should not miss it.
Wow,
that's powerful. All right. So, Olumide?
Well, for me, simply three things are going to happen. And if you're not there, it will be a shame. One, you're going to now know that continuous learning is vital. And that's what we're going to provide, an opportunity to see an array of speakers, work in groups. Again, we're going to expose you to future-ready skills and competencies that you should put in your kitty on this journey to the future. But most importantly, and the final thing, I think most importantly, Yomi spoke about this. This is a community that enables innovation explode. Look at what we've done with the preparation for CTD this year, unlike we've done before. And it just sounds like we're doing this for the first time because it's so refreshing. And that's the experience that you will enjoy, being in a community of innovators. So let's see you there. Be part of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So I put a question in the chat. I would love to hear your responses to that. It says, what do you think is the most important quality or skill that future fit talent must have? So Yemisi has said empathy. I hope I'll pronounce your name properly. Nzu Bechuku has said innovative. So innovation. She thinks it should be innovation. Let me also have a poll. So let me just launch this poll very quickly. And it's basically to test what you think. Which do you think would be the #1 priority for developing future fit talent in your own organization? You have 5 options. Is it building digital and AI skills, strengthening leadership and adaptability, fostering continuous learning and curiosity? I know this is really hard to choose amongst. Driving diversity, equity, and inclusion, or enhancing employee well-being and resilience. So they're all important, but what we're asking you is, which one do you believe is the #1 priority in your own organization? Which one do you believe is the #1 priority in your own organization? So let's complete the poll. And so far, fostering continuous learning and curiosity is in the lead, but the responses are still coming in. We still have a lot more people. If there's anyone who cannot see the poll, please let me know. If you're on the phone, just tap your screen and you'll see the icon that the poll is in progress. You click that and the poll should appear. Or on your Zoom menu, you can go to more, right at the end on the right-hand side, go to more, and it should show poll in progress. Just tap there and you'll be able to access the poll. So let's get those responses coming in. Which of these do you believe is the #1 priority for developing future fit talent in your own organization? And quite a few of you are putting your answers in the chat as well. High agency communication, empathy, innovation. I love that. Resilience, adaptability, learnability. Victor, please, which one is learnability? Oh, please unmute. This is a new thing. I don't know what learnability is. Victor Diali. He's going to be one of our MCs at this year's conference. Victor, what is learnability again? Oh, please tell us.
Hi, everyone, and good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, thank you so much for putting this together. It's really fantastic. I've been learning a lot. Mr. President, I'm loyal to your government. And what I mean by learnability is this attitude of leaders putting themselves in a position where they are not, they're humble enough to agree that they don't know something and be willing to learn. People, even employees, are always ready to learn, so continuous learning and putting yourself in a position where you can learn, because sometimes people block themselves from learning because they have all these biases and so many different things. So it's a combination of so many things, but just, like getting the soil ready to receive seed that will thrive.
Wow. Getting a soil ready to receive seed. That's deep. That's really deep. Thank you very much, Victor. So you can see there are the results of the poll. Fostering continuous learning and curiosity came up tops. 53% of you feel that's the #1 priority for our talent. And then followed by enhancing employee well-being and resilience, then strengthening leadership and adaptability, and finally, building digital and AI skills. As I said, they're all important. They're all important. We're talking about which one is the #1 priority for your own organization. So thank you very much for being here with us today for today's Learning Circle. We have upcoming Learning Circles next week. As you know, we do this every week. It's free every week. Next week, we've got training and facilitating in the real world of the diversity, equity, and inclusion, the disability context. And we had an amazing time with Dolapo a couple of weeks ago that really opened my eyes. I'm a DEI specialist and I learned so much. So definitely log into that. We have our president coming up on the 3rd of September with the topic underperforming in the workplace. How L&D leaders can manage talents? Yes, talents that are underperforming in the workplace. This is one of the major challenges of our leaders. They don't seem to know how to manage underperformance. It's a critical skill. And then the week after that, we have Mojisola Ogunkoya taking us on leading with emotional intelligence, one of my favorite topics. And emotional intelligence covers a lot of the things that we've been talking about today. Of course, we've got our CTD conference coming up in just 4 weeks' time, 16 to 18 September. If you haven't registered yet, if you haven't done your business listing for your organization, if you haven't advertised for your products, your services, your programs, if you are in a position to sponsor, please sponsor. If you have things for sale or you want people to sign up for, then you can also participate as an exhibitor. So lots of opportunities for you. Please contact. We have loads of contacts and channels. So you can reach directly out to me, to the deputy chair of the conference, that's our Lagos region chair, Dr. Tayo Oluwole. We have links that you can sign up for. Oh yes, LDNI is going to have a store this year. So if you are one of our members and you have authored a book and you want to sell the book through our store, you're very welcome to do that, or any other of your products, or you're welcome to take an exhibition stand yourself and man your own stand and sell directly. So these are the sponsorship categories, the exhibitorships categories. And remember, we're talking about exposure to over 500 leaders and people in this same learning and development, talent development sphere. For the weekly learning circle, we also have corporate sponsorship categories, very reasonable cost. So if you want to display your logo as the learning circle is going along, it's just 15,000 Naira. If you want to have a slide with your promotional content, that's just 20,000 Naira. And we have slots for video jingles and live offers as well for promos during the learning circles. And if you're not a member and you like what you've experienced here today, please consider becoming a member of the Learning and Development Network International. Just send an email to membership@ldni.info or go to our website and you'll be able to access the form. There's also a telephone number on the screen that you can call. Just send us your contact details and we will contact you. So at LDNI, we like to start on time and end on time, and it is on time. We're at time. I'd like to end with by saying a big thank you to our president, yay! To our region chairs, Abuja region, yay! Port Harcourt region, yay! Region, yay! Lagos is hosting our conference. I'm so excited. And of course, to our chair of our case competition, Dr. Fumi Akinyele herself. I hope you enjoyed this hour we spent together. I had an amazing time. I learned so much. I have to really go back and reflect now on my leadership. Thank you to everyone who logged in for your active participation in the chat, and seeing all of you at the conference next month, 16th to 18th. That date must be in your calendar. Okay, book your tickets now if you need to get a ticket. And we're here to support you with logistics, hotel rooms, and other things as well. We're ready to receive you. See you all in 4 weeks. Okay, bye.